Okay, I think Mormonism breeds a lot of ugly behaviors. Okay, it's not that I don't like Mormons; it's that I don't like the behavior that they exhibit. Okay, let's get that straight. Because I say I'm anti-Mormon. It's not that I'm anti the people. I'm pro all God's creation. I'm I'm anti the behavior of jealousy or what kind of behavior stems from that. Anyway, that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to say one thing that I think Mormonism does that is so unhealthy, that is of the dark. It's like so competitive. It's like, oh, there's only one person who can commune with God, only the prophet. That's not true. I I directly commune with the Creator. I have since I was a child, and it has nothing to do with a man over me. In fact, the times that I have gone to Mormon bishops, I have been taken advantage of, and my trust has been abused. That's why I go straight to God. So anyway, I think that it's so unhealthy to tell someone that you have to go through someone else to get to God. Like that, everyone, you find God in your head and your body. Depends on how you are. But I'll tell you what, there are so many reasons why I would never, ever baptize my son in the Mormon church. And if I were to find out that they went behind my back and did like a baptism, that's actually horrible juju because that's without consent. And hey, if he wanted to consent to being baptized, that's a different story. If he wanted to be baptized, I would say, Henry, I support you in making whatever choices you want to make. I would explain to him why I strongly discourage it, but I would ultimately respect his choice because he has free autonomy and free agency, which is the beauty of God. And so I would say, yeah, Henry, if that's how you find God, go for it. But you know what? I personally believe in a different God. That's more inclusive, that's not racist, that's not sexist. And I would pull up the exact scriptures showing him why I don't worship false gods. And Mormonism is worshiping false gods. Okay? Christianity has a lot of hiccups. Just saying. Also, when you study Greek, dude, when I study Hebrew, I have a whole new appreciation for just God at large, creation. Like, narratives aside, pain aside, all this stuff, just existing is divine, being divine. Literally every single breathing soul is divine. There is a place to belong for every single person. If you were created, you obviously have a purpose in this life. Well, Mormonism literally teaches that if you don't follow their path, that you don't have a place to belong, or that you're less than. Do you know how wicked that is? That is like the darkest of dark. That goes against God's actual plan. Anyway, I'm sorry. I try really hard not to be angry, and I can hear my sister saying, "Well, why do ex-Mormons have to be so angry?" Well, you know why? Because you realize that you've been fed a bunch of lies, and it's painful and it's hurtful because you could have lived your life in like a more loving manner if you hadn't had those beliefs. So yeah, it is a little infuriating. It's like offensive, actually. It's offensive to God. Like it is. It's offensive to God how we treat each other. In my culture, anyway, in my family, it's offensive how we treat each other. Like my family, I grew up in a family that, and look, we're like, there's Mormon is Mormon. If you know my family, what's like the word that comes to mind is Mormon. My dad was, from the day I was born, my dad was bishop, stake president, stake patriarch, mission president, temple sealer, all of the stupid titles. Well, you know what? My dad was the shittiest dad. He was not a good father. He was not around. He molested me. He lies about it. He takes no responsibility. I won't go on because you guys know how I feel about him. Yeah, do I love my dad? I love my dad. He's my dad. He's the only dad I'll ever have. But you know what? His behavior appalls me. It sickens me. And he's a hypocrite. And through his church, he thinks that he's entitled to do whatever he wants. There's no accountability. Well, you know what, Dad? That's not God's way. True repentance is being accountable for your actions and your wrongdoings. And true forgiveness is being able to recognize we all are fallible and we make mistakes. But you know what? We can do better when we know better. Well, the darkness teaches secrecies, lies. Oh, just do these things behind people's back and get away with it. Oh, you're entitled because you're somehow a chosen people. It breeds some nasty, nasty, nasty behaviors. And it's a slippery slope, and I know because I used to be thick in it. Thick in it. I did some bad things when I was younger. I'm embarrassed. But I've repented. I sit with it. I sit with God, and I when I'm doing yoga, when I'm painting, when I'm walking, and I go, God, I'm so sorry. I pretended like I was deaf. To Nels, that was horrible that I did that. I wrote about it in my first book. Because I really am. Yeah, we thought it was funny. My sisters and I, we would do these horrible things because we thought it was funny. That was like how we were raised. It's like getting a reaction. It's very manipulative, and it's really not like something I'm proud of, and it's not something I want to continue doing. So I changed my behaviors. I stopped doing that kind of stuff. Like, my entertainment used to be so, like, the stuff that used to entertain me was so dark, and like rude laughs and like dissing on other people. Like, that's how I grew up. That's horrible. Like family get-togethers and stuff. Not even just my immediate family, but like you like make fun of like other people and stuff. Like, that was how they would like bond. That's horrible. That's like the least Christ-like way to act. And yet we act like we belong to the one and only true church of Jesus Christ. Whoa, like, that is so highly offensive. Like, so highly offensive. And I don't even identify as Christian because of stuff like that. I'm obsessed with the concept of Jesus. I'm obsessed with creation. I'm obsessed with God. I'm obsessed with Eastern philosophies, though. You know why? You know why I don't like Mormonism too? I'll give you a reason why. Is when I was in so I used to do a lot of meditation and stuff as a child, and I used to be obsessed with Mormon church as a child because it was the only church I knew. So I loved it because I glorified God. And I would listen to the lessons. I'll never forget Daniel and the Lion's Den. Anyway, and I love the music. But what I was going to say is, when I started studying philosophy and like Eastern religions, like, the reason why I say I identified as Hindu and whatnot is because when I read these teachings, I feel like a celebration of life, celebration of being, divinity, of like just being, like, there's a reverence for God and creation and existence that Christianity didn't provide for me. Too much pain and suffering in Christianity. And I go, that is not how I want to live. But you know what? God used Christianity for me to also understand these concepts. So it's all full circle. I'll admit it. But it's quite the trip. It is quite the trip. But I have a pretty good, clear idea of what I worship, why I worship, how I worship, when I worship. And for me, that's about creation. It's about a loving creator. There's a space for all. If you were created, you were divine. P.S. Homegirl agrees. Okay, I just want to thank whoever did what they did for me to be able to see this cutie. Alright. Enough from me. Get back to this later. Love you guys. Peace out. I'm thinking about a few people in particular. I hope you know who you are. A few of you are on my mind. People that I have lived with. People that I care very much about. And while I may not talk to you, does not mean that I don't love you. I love everyone. Even those who have hurt me. Sometimes we hurt those who we feel closest to. I know, I do it. Let's just try to be kinder to each other. Okay? Just start with that. And if you made a mistake in your life, if you made a mistake, it's not too late to correct it. It's never too late. And if you can't do it yourself, go to your higher power. God is always there waiting for you. I promise you, God will not deny you. I'll start sobbing. I'm crying. And I can't share it here. It's too much. Love you guys. And if all else fails, make Hello Kitty your friend. You won't regret it.